if it's totally fine that these innocent people were tortured because that might be the cost to get some information out of the ones who actually know something, why stop at threatening to rape or kill the families of the others? Why not actually bring them to the black sites and rape or kill the families? Rape or kill the wives, the children, the grandparents, and everything. You're willing to pay some costs. How much cost are you willing to pay to get a little bit of information that will probably end up being false in the end anyway?
See, John, because this nation is founded on principles that are worth fighting for, but not worth following.
Right. And so Rubio says, hey, we should be applauding our CIA. In the very next tweet, as Jonathan Chait points out, says we have to make sure we hold accountable human rights violators in Venezuela.
Yes.
Okay, not here, but those bad guys in Venezuela, right? So now Jonathan Chait made another good point. Now, one of the things that the Republicans want to do, as Scarborough is doing here, is let's not talk about it. Oh, come on, I could do this, Eisenhower. What are you making a big deal out of? Right?
And technically, Eisenhower was a war criminal because we bombed cities with fire bombs and killed hundreds of thousands of people at a stretch.
That's true. And you know what? We've been trying to get better. Until Bush, we were trying to get better, right? And that's what made us a great country, because we pushed for human rights, so the whole world stopped doing that, right?
Yeah.
So he points out, it's funny, right before the Senate report came out on torture, they said over and over again, this is horrible, sleazy attacks against Bush. None of it is true. There was just waterboarding. That's all we did. And we only did it to 3 people, which all turned out to be lies, right? So this is horribly misleading slime against Bush, right? The minute it comes out, they go, that's tired news. Everybody already knew that. So Jonathan Chait asks the great question, so when are we allowed to talk about it? Right? Yeah. We can't talk about it before, we can't talk about it after. And now this is me, let me add on top of that, this is an old Republican trait. So after shootings in schools, no, don't politicize it, right? Shush, whenever it's to their disadvantage, right? If you haven't proved the torture, well, then you're being sleazy by charging it. You have proven the torture? Oh, come on, we already knew that. Stop talking about it. Never talk about things that are to the disadvantage of the Republican Party.
Unfortunately, here, President Barack Obama also agrees with that.
Well, hey, somebody's going to jail for this. And that person's already in jail, and they're the person that originally reported that we were torturing them.
John Carrico is in jail. John Carrico is the CIA operative who gave the information to the press about us torturing people. Barack Obama threatened him with decades in prison, so he copped to a 30-month sentence. So right now, as George Bush, Dick Cheney, Condoleezza Rice, and all those other motherfuckers who did torture in our name are walking free. Nobody even brings up that it's a crime or that they're going to be prosecuted. He's sitting in prison. Guess who else is sitting in prison? Not the cop who choked Eric Garner, but the guy who filmed it. So that's the country we've become right now. So that's why I say it feels like we're living in China, or it feels like we're living in 1980s Russia. It's one-party rule. And if I could just say 2 things about this. Ronald Reagan signed the Convention Against Torture. Barack Obama does not have an option to not prosecute. If you find a war crime or a war criminal, you are obligated to prosecute them, which he's not going to do. Okay, second, they say torture works. You know what else works? You know what else works? Slave camps work. That's right, chemical weapons also work. Carlos Mencia works. That doesn't make it fucking right.